Today it's mid-April, so I've decided it's time to fill up my empty spaces in the garden, or the cleared spaces in the garden, with some cover crops, primarily blue lupin, and then a mixture of mustard and grain and other ones as well. Prior to doing that, I will soak them in some water with some Gans, and soak them there for about an hour, and then I'll spread them out across the garden beds, which need to be covered up for the winter, and that'll keep the soil safe during winter and add nutrients come the spring. The lupins primarily they're nitrogen fixers, so I'll only need to use less compost on these beds which have the cover crops compared to the ones that don't. And the mustard and the grain mix, that helps to add carbon and other nutrients into the soil as well. So we'll start off by putting some of this super seed Gans into a couple of litres worth of water. It's about 3 to 4 mils of this seed mix per litre of water of Gans, and then I'll soak them for about an hour, and then I'll spread them out on the garden, and the leftover water in here will just spread over the garden as well, and that'll help them and rake them in. So I'll show you what I do, or how I do that, and yeah, let's get into it. Right, so I'll mix up the Gans, make sure that it's well and truly mixed up, and measure it in. It's about 3 mils and another 3 mils. Great. And I'll mix that in. And then I will add in the lupins and grains. Here we go. Open them up, put them in the water. Job done. Normally you probably plant the cover crop a little bit earlier. I've left it a bit late this time, but I find that with the Gans it really won't matter. They will germinate and grow fine throughout the winter season, as is, and come springtime I will put them into the soil. Yep, I'll mix that in. There we go. There we go. Great. I'll leave that for an hour and it'll be all good. And the lupin and the mustard and the oats and whatever are now ready to be sown on to the ground, which I do just like this. And it doesn't matter if it ends up a little bit. I'll harvest that beetroot come the middle of the winter, so it doesn't matter if it's got a bit of a cover crop growing up around it in the meantime. And so spread it like that, help protect, nourish the soil. There we go. And once that is done, usually a good idea, just rake it in, spread it out, and get a bit of a covered. They don't have to be fully covered in dirt, particularly lupins. They will sprout just like this. Great. even though the broccoli is still growing, the lupin and the other seeds will sprout underneath, and when the broccoli's finished there'll be a nice cover crop there protecting the soil. And quick rake in and spread out and cover up. The echinacea flowering plants here are all nearly ready, and we'll deal with them in a week or so when the seeds are ready. There.